Absolutely. I mean, and I think economists would suggest that the family unit is the most fundamental social unit of society. So, again, we would then have to have a conversation about the role of the state, the role of culture, the role of the law, and how that either protects or destroys the family. So yes, of course, I fully agree with that. And because, in our families, it's really interesting when I talk to my students about there's this kind of new attractiveness to socialism amongst younger people who are surveyed. And this is not my idea, it was my friend's idea, but she says it's because we're born into a commune where there's no prices and there's no buying and selling. So maybe we think that we can extrapolate that into society. And I think there's like a little bit of truth in there. Like, I don't make my kids buy cereal from me. I give it to them because I love them, and amongst many other things that I can do, So we can't extend all that happens in the family to the state. I think that's a confusion. I would burden some of that on modern progressivism, kind of viewing the state as the nanny, as the parent. So there's that part. I think that's very destructive of family values and virtues. I'm not sure about the CEO, are corporations trying to split up the family? I'm not sure I'm comfortable saying that. But do they inadvertently sometimes? Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at what happened over the 20th century, women entered the workforce in droves. I think as a woman who works, I'm excited about the opportunity to make that choice, but I think that it puts, another burden on the family, which is, okay, we're gonna have to figure different things out now. We're gonna have to outsource more than we've ever outsourced before, and what does that look like? But I do think there's some kind of movements like teleworking and flexible working that is allowing families to kind of regain some of that. So to me, it's more of a culture problem than it is a corporate problem. But I'm open to debate on that. But that's just my view. I don't know if you have thoughts.
Is it Apple that has some very progressive programs for women, and they'll do things like extract eggs and freeze them to give so that women can have children later, and say this is our contribution to the family. I think it would be better than going through a relatively painful procedure. If you want to do that, give some benefit to the family. Give women time off to have children and have their jobs for them when they come back. But yeah, I would with Anne. I don't know if there's a deliberate kind of. There's just a sort of that. I don't know, it seems to me like Apple. Are you familiar with that policy of Apple? So it just seems to me familiar that I'm going to do something to benefit me, but try to make it seem like it's good for you. And you have to be the determiner of whether that's a good deal or not. Nobody's forced to work at Apple.